was like, wait. My reaction was, wait a minute. You found a park with some stupid enough to ride on
Yep.
a dangerous roller coaster. That was exactly what you said. He's like, yep.
Yep.
And you were like, sweetie, you just got up. You said, and you just literally did this to the chair. Sit down. And I was like, what is it? You said, just sit down, please. And then you went into another park. And then you said, just please, make me a roller coaster. I need one of your roller coasters to finish this scenario. I was like, what's the scenario? It's like, 10 to 1 you probably already, you said 10 to 1 you probably already beat. And I was like, probably. And you're just like, I know you can do it. Just make me a roller coaster, please. I'm like, okay. Because no roller coasters that came with the game would work on the scenario. Remember?
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, sure thing. I'll make you a roller coaster. Granted, granted, you had asked me. You just said, sweetie, just make sure you save it because I'm probably going to need it again. And I saved it. And then I remembered what happened. You looked at the sticker price.
That's good unlimited money ones.
You just looked at the sticker price. You just, you just, you just, you just looked at me, and then you looked at the price for the roller coaster. Then you looked at me. It was like, what? You were like, hold on a minute. You went and looked at all the other roller coasters in the game. Then you went back to it. You just looked at it like, could you? And then you looked at me like, could you maybe make a version of this like half the price, please? Like, okay.
Yeah.
And I just took out like I think it was 12 helixes. Because I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Hurricane's a little expensive. You probably remember Hurricane.
Yeah.
That big gargantuan insanity of a roller coaster. Yeah. You probably remember that because I remember your reaction when you saw the price for Hurricane.
Yeah.
And then you never could in any of the scenarios put Hurricane down because it was too expensive. Because that was the part that required a set amount of. There was that one scenario that required a set amount of ride attendance for a single particular roller coaster.
Yeah.
And every roller coaster you put down would not get the attendance it needed within the time frame. So you're just like, please make me a roller coaster. And I made you Hurricane because you ended up being stuck on the scenario for so long. You couldn't finish it. You had the money, and I just simply sat down. I demolished out 2 or 3 rollers. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making room. You're like, what? Yeah, I'm making room. It's this big. And then by the time I was done, every ride at the park was abandoned. Everybody went to ride Hurricane. And I remember, because Hurricane was a top loader, I set the rope line up from the street level, and it was a long
It was
way.
a danglefoot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a free. To be exact, it was a free swinging danglefoot.
Yeah.
It was free swinging.
Danglefoot.
It was the free swinging version, and because the rides boarding is so high, I remember you were saying, you just looked at me and said, I like Hurricane and all, but because of where the entrance is, to quote what you said, I had to put 3 bathrooms in the waiting line. Remember? Because it went up, went like this. It kept going up like stairs. Because it literally was the roller coaster with the highest boarding platform out of all of them that I had designed in the game.
Well, if you're going to play Roller Coaster Tycoon again, I learned something even after all playing it. If I put out a lot of kiosks that give away free maps, the Sims don't get lost.
Yeah.
Because when the Sims get lost, it goes down. You know, it lowers it.
Actually, towards the end of playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, I'd actually gotten so good at designing the park, I literally was able to build parks without map kiosks. I'd actually gotten that good.
Yeah. You need to see they get umbrellas with it too and other stuff.
Oh, I would just simply put down an umbrella kiosk, and I would. The weird thing about it was I wouldn't put down information in that kiosk because my parks had gotten so good layout-wise, I didn't need them. What I would end up, what I would end up doing, because for some reason I always liked seeing it, I would have free umbrellas. But weird thing about it is I would charge 5 cents a balloon, but yet I would give away free umbrellas.
I have a rule. I have $1 profit for everything, especially in the scenarios where you have to make so much money out of those.
There was one scenario I do remember. I don't remember why or how come or what the scenario was. There was one scenario where, for some reason,
you had to pop a bunch of balloons.
Well, yeah, but this was actually, you're probably going to remember it in a minute. For some reason, no matter, I tried over and over and over again. I could never do it. I could never get a park to where I didn't have to offer maps. I could never figure out why that was.
It's part of the programming.
Every other scenario, I had actually gotten a park with good enough layout where I had literally was able to get away without offering maps to them, because my park layouts were so good. Because the way I would set them up is I would actually, for my no map parks, what I would actually end up doing would be I would do the park in a sectional layout, and I would have a monorail, and then I later on upgraded it to a roller coaster.
Yeah, the monorail job is transportation.
Because what I would do is I would actually use the train and the monorail to actually transport it to different sections of the park. So I had no.
Yeah, I've done that.
So
before.
I had the park's layout so good, where I didn't have to actually offer maps at all. Because I would use small sections. I would use transportation rights to tie them all together. But I would, however, lean way into having entertainers, though. That's probably another reason why I didn't have to actually have.
Entertainers are good security.
That's probably another reason why I didn't have to probably have maps. Because if you actually look closely, you can actually see entertainers giving directions. If you zoom in close enough to the entertainers, you can actually see them giving directions. Did you know that?
I didn't notice.
For real?
Yeah.
Next time you play it?
There's one right there.
Yeah. Next time you play it, I'm serious. Do a small sandbox park, okay? And then start building the park.
You're talking about Dinky Park, that level?
No, it's the sandbox one. I forget what tab it's under, okay? Go into the sandbox one, okay? And then don't put the information kiosks down. Instead, hire the entertainers. And then you can actually see the entertainers giving directions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They help prevent vandalism, too.
Yeah.
In the park.
Pretty much I always had a rule of thumb. Everywhere I would put one of my insane roller coasters at, I would always hire an entertainer and assign them to that area. Because my roller coaster, suffice it to say, needs the entertainers.
I always let a couple of security loose, too.
Now the park with, now if I remember right, the scenario that I think it was called high vandalism or something like that was one of the things in it. The warning about the high vandalism in, I think. That one, you pretty much had no choice but to hire security.
I do it every time because I don't.
Yeah,
like
but I'm
my
just saying that
property
one literally
vandalized.
you had no, because if you actually have a high enough satisfaction rating and enough entertainers, pretty much you don't really need security. This is something. I'm sitting here putting this together. We're talking about old video games.
Well, I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon now.
Yeah. One or two.
1, 2, Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and 3.
Yeah,
and I
but
purchased Roller Coaster World, and I don't really like it that much. I don't think I've given it a good enough chance.
Because it's actually Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 I'm talking about, where you can actually see the entertainers.
Oh, you can see them all.
Yeah, if you're Sims, if you see the Sim, if a Sim's lost, you'll actually see the Sim go up to an entertainer, and you actually see the entertainer actually pointing, giving directions. If you didn't notice that, that was the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. If anybody's wondering why I'm using my hand to bash it in, this thing's just, it's just that. Oh crap.
You got enough.
This ain't gonna have doors.
That's okay.
It's not gonna have doors.
That's okay. Do we have any more?
None of these are even door panels.
Nope. They messed up on this one.
No, I think you intentionally ordered this without doors, because if I remember, I think you mentioned you don't want doors on it. Because you wanted to put, like, stuff that's got their own, like, containers in it.
Yeah.
I think that's what you said. I didn't think of it. That's what you mentioned. If I realized this didn't have doors, I would have zip tied the bottom. You see, people, when you sort of passively acknowledge the instructions, it leaves you room for surprise. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is zip tying the bottom section. Because there's no doors. Well, technically, even if this did have come with doors.
No, there's no doors on this.
Yeah, there is no doors. For a second, I thought I saw the cat. I know she's in the bedroom. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. So I can really see it. Do the zip tie thing. Yeah. David assembling cubicles while reminiscing about old video games. And old TV shows and Hanna-Barbera programs. Pretty much this has turned into that, isn't it? Alright, there. Oh, I could say one thing, at least so far none of these zip ties have been defective.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. That one we got, every zip tie I put in, they weren't ripping, and they were just ripping on me. There. Okay. That was just that was just something on that did. And then the leftover zip ties that was on there were all just busting on you. That did manage to actually grip. Oh, come on. That's really this. There. Yeah, looks like this. Yep, so far so good. So far so good, and so far boppy.
Yep.
Alright. Alright, now let's put this one in. Flip it over because I had it upset. Whoops. Okay. It's clipped in all the way. It's just going to have to be mismatched because I can't pull it. It ain't going to come up easily. And I don't want to wear this out. Yeah, people, I'm human. I make mistakes. Whoops. But anyhow, it's going to be sitting like that anyways. So I don't think it's too big of a deal. It's going to be in there. And I dare say it's probably pretty, if you're using one of these, it's pretty arbitrary if you're even going to worry about orientation too much. I just simply just now noticed I made this mistake, put this one in. Different from this one. Alright. I actually had a shelf we had got from Walmart. I think it was close to like 2 years later I noticed I'd actually put one of the boards on upside down by mistake.
Well.
Yeah. But that shelf's long since pretty well collapsed since those Walmart wood shelves with like veneer on them. The particle board anyhow. So they're about as those brothers they're about as well made. So very much they're just termite bait anyways. I made ones that we got from we still even have any of those left standing. Actually, I think it's still standing. When I got the panel on upside down.
Yeah.
Problem's actually not to fix them correctly.
Yep.
I think that's the one that I ended up putting the metal bracket on the sides. Oh yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that is the one I ended up putting the metal bracket on the side because if I remember right, the metal bracket's actually overlapping the upside down piece. Come to think of it. That was on the table. Yeah. Alright. Come on. There we go. All right. Now if it stays, make this happen. Multiple types of tweezers. I'm not even using them to do this. Alright, there we go. Alright. Okay. Sad thing about it, these zip ties are flipping. These zip ties are white on white.
Yep. They definitely are.
Oh, pinch me! That one was numerically easy. They even include enough? This don't look right. This don't look like the right count. Unless I don't expect you to zip tie the top. Let's see. That one. Those two. Stay.
We'll be back when he's
This one.
finished it.